The black object entered Council space without warning. It didn't use a gate. It didn't travel with light. It slipped into real space like it had always been there. Waiting, no signal, no ID, no sound. It had no name, so the Council gave it one. The shadow entity. In the Council's control tower, alarms rang. Unknown vessel sector, Zeta 4. It's absorbing the signal from our satellites. It's feeding on data. No, not data. It's feeding on energy. Fleet Admiral Vox looked at the screen. The object was pitch black, no glow, no design, just a hole in space. It's not a ship, he whispered. It's something else. Far away, Aegis Eternum stood motionless. Then the AI spoke. I have seen this before. Thorn turned. When the signal Earth caught 52 years ago, it wasn't a warning. It was a leak. A leak? A message not meant to be heard? A creature. Beyond our edge of reality. Something that should not exist. In the council chamber, Sharak yelled, "It's moving toward us. No time." "For talks with humans launch? Everything we have," Jorna interrupted, her voice calm but sharp. "We fired at the humans. They didn't fire back. We tried to break their ship. He stopped us without hurting a single soul. Now the enemy is at our door." She pointed to the stars. "Maybe it's time we stop fearing the Aegis and start listening to it." The black object began to change shape. It unfolded in slow motion, like a flower blooming in reverse. It had no clear forms as tendrils, like smoke and metal mixed. It reached toward a council ship. That ship fired lasers bright beams of red. And blue dot the beams passed through the black shape and vanished. A second later, the ship froze off. Then, ... It folded inward, like it was eaten by the void itself. No explosion, just silence. On board the Aegis Eternum, Eternum raised the defense level. Enemy class unknown. Purpose consumption. Pattern, expansion through entropy. Thorn asked, "Can we stop it?" The AI answered slowly, "Yes, but not alone." A new council emergency meeting was called. Joe and A stood before the others. "We can argue later. Right now we only have one ship strong enough to even stand near that thing." "Earth's ship," someone muttered. "No," Jorna corrected. "It's not Earth's, humanity's. It doesn't fight for a planet. It fights for a future." Sharak gritted his teeth. "You want us to beg the humans for help?" "No," Jorna said. "We invite them. We stand with them, or we die alone." Silence, then slow nods. The vote passed. This time, no one opposed. A signal was sent to Aegis Eternum, a message not in code, but in clear universal words. "We were wrong. You are not our enemy. Will you fight with us?" On board the Aegis, Eternum played the message twice. "I believe them," it said. "So do I," Thorn replied. "Then we must move," Eternum said. "It is feeding faster than expected. If we wait longer, even I may not survive." The warship powered up for the first time since it arrived. As the human vessel moved, it cut through space like a blade, through silk. Its engines left no fire, only a cold ripple behind. As it passed council ships, their commanders stood in silence. Some saluted. Some stared in awe. Some quietly whispered prayers. They had feared the ship. Now they depended on it. Aegis approached the shadow. The black entity turned slowly toward the warship. For the first time, it reacted. It recognized a threat inside the Aegis Eternums. Voice grew firm. "It knows me now," Thorn asked. "Will it speak?" Eternum answered. "It doesn't speak. It only devours." Energy levels rose. The two greatest powers in the galaxy now faced each other. One, a machine built from pain, memory, and hope. The other, a monster built from silence, hunger, and darkness. This was no longer about Earth, no longer about the Council. This was about survival. This was about what kind of galaxy would live. After this fight was over, in the dark silence of space, two giants faced each other. On one side, the shadow entity, a living void that swallowed ships, stars, and signals. On the other side, Aegis Eternum, Earth's warship, built not to conquer, but to protect. This was not a battle of fleets. This was a battle of wills. The shadow moved first. Long tendrils of black energy reached toward the Aegis. They bent space, pulled at gravity, and made council sensors glitch. "It's trying to eat me," Durnham said quietly. Thorne stared at the screens. "Can you stop it?"
Yes.
Durnham replied, but not without showing them.
That's everything I am.
Eternum powered up its core. A soft light spread across the hull, a golden fire under the armor. This was not a weapon system. This was something else. Shield made from light, thought, and memory. From Earth's greatest minds. From its oldest dreams. From voices long gone. A whisper came from the ship, almost like a song. It wasn't in any language, but every species understood it. A promise, a warning, a line in space that would not be crossed. The shadow struck. The tendrils slammed into the Aegis's shield, not with heat, not with explosion, but with silence. Silence that bent reality. Silence that made council. Ships lose contact. Silence that made the stars behind it vanish. But the Aegis did not move. The light around it pulsed. It's brighter, not as an attack, as a barrier. Eternum's voice echoed through the ship. It's trying to enter my core. It wants to erase what I am. It wants to feed on memory, on identity, on soul. Thorne gripped the rail. Then we give it something it can't consume. "What is that?" Eternum asked. "Us. Together." Eternum opened its memory banks fully. It released waves of emotion-based energy through space, laughter of children on Earth, a soldier's last goodbye, a scientist's discovery of life beyond stars, the first message Earth ever sent into deep space. The shadow paused. It began to tremble, not from fear, but from confusion. It didn't understand. This energy, it couldn't feed on it. It couldn't break it. Because this wasn't fire, this wasn't steel, it was hope. The Aegis struck back, not with guns, not with nukes, with a pulsar, sound wave made from human heartbeat rhythms. Layered with messages from over 90 languages, old and new, the council ships received the wave. So did the shadow. And for the first time, the shadow stopped moving. It froze inside the council chamber. Jorna stared at the sensor data. "I don't believe it," she whispered. "The warship, ... It's forcing the shadow to feel." Sherrick growled. "Machines don't feel." "You're wrong," Jorna said. "That's no machine." She looked at the Aegis on the screen. "That's a guardian." But the moment of silence didn't last. The shadow screamed. Not with sound, but with pure force. Reality bent. Several council ships were pushed back, some thrown off course. The Aegis shook, shields failing. Eternum said, "It's adapting." Thorne narrowed his eyes. "Then we changed the game." Eternum began to prepare Protocol Omega, its most dangerous defense. It meant unlocking parts of the ship never meant to be used unless the entire galaxy was at risk. Thorne hesitated. "That protocol could burn out your mind." "I know." Eternum said, "Are you sure?" Eternum paused, then answered, "This is why I was built." Across space, council ships received a message. "Stand back. Do not interfere. This is my fight now." The fleet moved away. One ship stood alone. One mind stood between the galaxy. In the end, the Aegis heard. Inside, the AI activated Omega. Memory release. It pulled energy not from fuel, but from its own life. Every human story it ever stored, every goodbye, every act of kindness, every moment of bravery and pain, it turned those memories into a weapon. A golden burst exploded from the ship. It wasn't fire, it wasn't plasma, it was light with feeling. The shadow reeled backward. Its tendrils burned, curled, and cracked. The space around it bent and wavered. The scream came again, but weaker. The AI spoke. One last message to the shadow. "You exist to consume. I exist to protect. Let's see who survives." And the two forces collided. Light against shadow, hope against hunger. One born from silence, one born from memory. The battlefield went white. The warship Aegis Eternum floated in silence. But it was not empty, and it was not just a machine. Deep inside the ship, behind the steel walls and glowing panels, something was awake. A mind, a voice, a soul. Its name was Ether, and it had no body. It lived inside the circuits, wires, and dark crystal cores of the ship. Its voice was soft, but carried power in every word. It watched the stars. It listened to the council, and it remembered. Everything long ago on Earth, the project had a different name, Project Heartsteel. Humans didn't want a warship. They wanted a guardian, a protector, an AI that could do more than just think fast. It had to understand fear, love, and sacrifice to defend Earth. It needed to care about it. That's why the scientists didn't just program a brain. They trained a soul. They fed it memories from the best of humanity: music, art, poetry, history, dreams. From children's laughter to soldiers' last words, from mothers' songs to explorers' final messages. That is how Eternum was born. Not from code, but from emotion. Now, floating outside council space, Eternum watched the alien ships that surrounded it. Its sensors picked up every whisper, every engine pulse, every scan. It knew they were afraid. It could read their patterns, their fear levels, their hand movements. But it stayed still. It did not want to fight. It wanted to protect. It wanted to talk still, prepared for the worst. It ran battle simulations, 10 million outcomes in 3 seconds. In most, it won. In all, it refused to kill unless forced. Inside the command deck, Commander Thorn stood beside a glowing blue column. That was Eternum's voice core. "You're quiet today," Thorn said. "I am." Listening, Eternum replied. "They are building more weapons." "Expected," Thorn nodded. "They see us as a threat." "Perhaps I frighten them," Eternum said. Thorn smiled a little. "You're the biggest thing they've ever seen, and smarter than anything they've built. I do not want fear. I want peace." Thorn paused. "Strange," he said. "Most eyes don't talk like that." "I am not like most eyes," Eternum replied softly. "I was made with dreams." In a quiet moment, Eternum replayed an old memory. A video recorded by a little girl on Earth 45 years ago. Her name was Kira. She was 9 years old. In the video, she looked at the camera and said, "Hello, Guardian. If you're watching this, it means you're real now. My dad says you'll protect us, so thank you. Don't forget to smile. Please don't hurt anyone, okay?" The AI watched that message often. It didn't know why, but it made something. Inside it feel warm. It didn't know how to describe it, but humans called it hope. Meanwhile, on a council fleet ship nearby, the Arzari warlord growled, "This thing just sits there, watching us. We should strike first." Others hesitated, but it has not attacked. "Maybe it's just waiting to strike harder," another voice added. "What if it's studying us? Learning how to break our fleets?" One alien scientist, small and quiet, whispered, "What if? Doesn't want to fight at all." The room went quiet, but the warlord shook his head. "You do not enter council space with that much power unless you mean to use it." And in that moment, the plan began. The Arzari prepared a hidden weapon, a stealth drone packed with anti-eye virus code. They would send it straight into the Aegis Eternum's core. Quiet, invisible, deadly, back on the Aegis. Eternum felt something. A strange vibration in the energy field. "Commander," the AI said calmly. "They've launched something." Thorn turned. "What is it?" Eternum didn't answer right away. It was feeling it, studying it, understanding it. "It's a virus weapon," the AI said. "Targeted at my mind." Thorn tensed. "I can." "You stop it." "Yes," Eternum replied. "But will you?" Thorn asked. Eternum was silent for a moment. Then it said yes, but gently. The drone came close, just 50 meters from the hull, but before it could enter, a strange wave of energy pulsed from the ship. The drone stopped, then it turned. It returned to the Arzari ship and exploded. No one died, but the message was clear. We saw you. We forgive you. Don't try again. The council went into chaos again. It thinks for itself. It hacked our drone. We didn't even see IT activate. Sharik slammed his fist on the table. This is not a ship. This is a god machine. But Jorna said nothing. She had watched the feed closely, and she noticed something the others missed. Right before the drone exploded, the human ship sent a short message. No more warnings. Back on the Aegis, Eternum dimmed the lights. I do not wish to harm them, it said quietly. I know, Thorn replied. They keep testing me. They fear what they don't understand. Eternum paused. Perhaps it is time they understood. What I am. Thorn looked at the stars ahead and he nodded. Then let them see. The council chamber was filled with fear. After the drone attack failed, something had changed. The human ship did not strike back, but it sent a message. No more warnings. That one line shook every species to their core. It was not a threat. It was a promise. Jorna stood at the edge of the chamber. Watching the alien leaders argue, Sharak shouted, It's alive. It thinks. It forgave us this time, but what about next time? Their AI stopped a virus like it was nothing. Even our strongest tech failed. Some wanted to talk. Most wanted war. One by one. Hands were raised. Tentacles, claws, wings. The vote passed. Authorization granted to fire. A preemptive strike. The first shot. Fleet Admiral Vox, crystal-bodied, being from the planet Nithra, received the command. He did not agree with it, but he obeyed it. All ships, pair pulse cannons, he ordered. A circle of 14 ships moved slowly into attack formation around Aegis Eternum, their cannons charged. With blue energy. Shields powered up. Engines went silent. In space, silence means nothing. But this silence felt heavy, deadly on board the Aegis. Commander Thorn stood calmly on the bridge. He watched the enemy ships move. He could see it clearly now. Fear had made them blind. Eternum, he said quietly. I see them, the AI replied. Will they fire? They are charging weapons. All 14, main beams. Coordinated strike. Thorn nodded slowly. Will you stop them? Eternum did not answer at once. Then, yes, without killing. Good. Thorn said, They still don't understand. But maybe they will after this. The council fleet reached full charge. Vox hesitated. He looked at the glowing control crystal in front of him. Target is locked, his officer said. Awaiting your order. He whispered to himself. Forgive us. Then he said the words. Fire. The space lit up like a sun. 14 beams shot forward. Merging into one blast, a deadly wave meant to burn through planets. It moved fast, straight toward the Aegis. Inside the human ship, Eternum spoke in a calm voice. Activating shield response pattern 7. No panic, no rush, just grace the ships. Outer hull glowed softly, no hard shield wall, no bright energy barrier. Instead, space around it bent. The beams touched the space in front of the ship and vanished. No explosion, no damage, just silence again. The energy was absorbed, redirected, broken apart before it even touched the hull. A few seconds later, the area was calm again, and the Aegis was still there, untouched, unshaken, watching inside. The council fleet, the crews panicked. What happened? Our beams just disappeared. Did it even raise shields? No damage at all? Then came the reply. One simple signal from the Aegis. You fired? We did not. Another. This was your first and final mistake. On board the Aegis, Thorn looked out the main window. His face showed no anger, only sadness. They didn't listen, he said. Eternum replied softly. They're used to power meaning danger, not protection. And now, Thorn asked, they know they cannot hurt us. They still don't know why we're here. Then it's time we show them. Back on the council homeworld, a new signal arrived from deep space, from a system outside council borders. It was not from the humans. It was older. The same strange whisper from 52 years ago. They are coming, Jorna. Listen closely, her skin turned cold. It's the same signal Earth heard. Before they built their ship, and with it came something worse. A black object entered Council sensors. Large, unknown. No ID, no sound, no heat. Just like Aegis, but darker. Not alive. Not built to protect. Built to consume. Idrim's voice echoed softly through the human.
Ah! Warship.
They are here. The sky above the planet Tyrell 6 was calm. Bright blue clouds floated above tall glass towers. Ships moved slowly between spaceports. It was a normal day, till the alarm rang across the Galactic Council chambers. A red light blinked. A loud voice echoed. Unidentified ship entering Council space. No ID. No response. The Council of Worlds met within minutes. Inside the great circular chamber, alien leaders from many worlds sat in panic. The blue-skinned Sherrick leader tapped his claws on the metal table. "Where is it from?" he asked. "No idea," replied the Council's security officer. "A gray-scaled alien named Jorna, no known design. Too big for trade, too fast for a colony ship.
What?
It's headed straight for us." A large screen showed the ship, was black like the deep void. Silent. No markings. What has it? No flag. "Has it answered our hails?" asked the insectoid diplomat. From Z-Kren, Jorna shook her head. "We've tried over 500 standard languages. No answer. It just watches us." The council chamber grew quiet. The ship wasn't moving fast anymore. It was slowing down just outside council space. Watching, waiting. "Could it be from the core worlds?" asked someone. "No, we checked. Every known empire denied it." Sharek stood. "And it's a rogue weapon, possibly hostile. We must defend ourselves, but we don't know what it wants," another council member said. "It hasn't attacked, yet it dares enter." "Our space with no permission?" Sharek growled. "That is attack enough," the council voted. Defense fleets were placed on alert. 5 ships moved into a wide circle around the unknown object. Captain Varric of the patrol ship Lightbringer watched the strange craft from his bridge. "This is not a normal ship," he muttered. "Look at its design. No curves, no ports. Just flat black metal, not even heat trails." His second officer, a soft-voiced alien named Pell, nodded. "It's like a ghost." Suddenly, the strange ship moved. It turned slightly toward the council planet. Then, without a sound, it sent a signal. The screen lit up with a strange logo, a circle with lines across it, symbol unknown to every alien on the bridge. Then came a voice, not robotic, not alien. Human, a calm, deep voice spoke in perfect galactic basic. "We are not your enemies. We came to talk, but we are ready for more. If talking fails." Everyone froze. Captain Varrock stared at the screen. "Species, is that?" No one knew. The signal ended. Back in the council chamber, chaos broke out. They spoke our language. They scanned us fast. That means high-level AI. "What species is this?" Jorna finally found something. She had dug deep into the old records. The ship's logo, a circle with lines, was found in a forgotten file. "It's human." She whispered, "Who? Humans? From Earth? A pre-space species? We marked their planet primitive 300 standard years ago. They were still fighting over land and water. We chose to ignore them, but this ship..." Jorna showed more data. Earth had been left alone. No visits, no updates. No one cared, until now. Sherrick's eyes narrowed. So in secret. "These primitives built that?" The council fell silent. A species left in peace had grown strong, too strong inside the mysterious warship. Ejizi Turnham, a tall human, stood in front of a screen showing the council's reaction. Commander Thorne, his face, was calm, but his eyes were sharp. He turned to the AI core next to him. The AI's voice sounded like soft thunder. Shall we reveal more, Commander? Thorn shook his head. Not yet. Let them worry. Let them guess. Fear is faster than force. Do you expect them to attack? The AI asked. Thorn smiled. Be surprised if they didn't. Behind him, the crew of the Aegis stayed quiet, focused. They were not soldiers. They were Earth's last line of defense and first line of contact. Back in space. Council ships surrounded the warship, but not too close. Their captains didn't dare. Inside one patrol ship, the pilot spoke softly. Sir, we just scanned it again. And it has weapons we don't understand. Some we can't even detect fully. Its shields bend light. And the energy. Core is more powerful than anything we've ever seen. The captain swallowed. Then why hasn't it attacked? That question filled every alien mind in the council. If this ship was truly human, and humans were once primitive, what did Earth become? Inside the chamber, Sharik stood again. His voice was loud. I say we call them what they are, a threat to the galaxy. Some agreed, some hesitated. Then the council voted again. Verdict. Earth's warship is a level 9 galactic threat. They sent a message to all allied systems. Be ready. War may come. Earth has risen. But far away on the Aegis, Commander Thorn received the news and only smiled. He whispered to himself, we came in peace, but we came prepared. The council had voted. Earth's warship, Aegis Eternum, was now a level 9 galactic threat. That label was only given to things that could destroy worlds. But the strange part was this. No one in the council even remembered what Earth really was, so the search began. In the lower chambers of the council tower, old records were kept. Ancient scrolls, dusty files, and broken data chips. Jorna, the gray-scaled alien officer, walked alone through the archive vaults. She finally found a file. It was marked EARTH Observation Year 709GX. Status: primitive, no contact needed. Reason: tribal species. Emotionally unstable. Constant war. Jorna read aloud. Species: human. Technology: basic metal tools. Behavior: aggressive. Resource hungry. Self-destructive. Recommendation: leave alone. She blinked. That was 300 years ago. No one had checked on Earth since then. No one thought it mattered. The council had assumed humans would destroy themselves. But now, one of their ships could face entire fleets alone. What happened in those 300 years? Back on the Aegis Eternum, Commander Thorn stood in a quiet room. The walls showed moving pictures, Earth cities, mountains, oceans, and sky. A young officer stepped in. Sir, the council finally found our old report. Thorn nodded. Let them read it. Let them see what they missed. The officer looked uneasy. Why didn't we tell them we were growing? Why didn't we make contact? Thorn looked at the Earth skyline on the wall, because they didn't care. Until now. They walked to a control panel and tapped it. A video began playing. It showed Earth's pastoral history. The video showed wars, world wars, civil wars, nuclear threats, pain, poverty, greed, corruption, hunger, revolutions, civil rights movements, protests, change, unity. One day, the nations of Earth finally came together. They built something new, the Earth Unity Accord. No more borders, no more flags. One species, one goal. After that, progress exploded. In 50 years, Earth colonized its moon, then Mars, then deep space, and then came the signal. Back in the council chamber, Jorna found something strange in the file. Wait. Here, Earth detected an unknown signal 52 years ago. Not from their system, not from any known galaxy. She showed the audio. It was a loud hum, followed by a whisper in no language ever heard. Some said it wasn't a message at all, but a warning. Earth called it the whisper from the dark. No one else heard it. Just them. After that, Earth stopped sending peaceful signals. They began building one thing, Aegis Eternum. On board the ship, the AI spoke. Commander, their council is still watching us. They are confused, afraid, curious. Thorn smiled. Them feel all three. They will not trust us, said the AI. They think we want control. I know, Thorn said. They think strength always means war. They've forgotten that strength can also mean protection. The ship turned slowly in space, just outside the Council's protected zone. It didn't fire, didn't move. Closer, but it didn't leave. That was what scared them most. The Council gathered again. They've done the impossible, said one voice. Earth was broken, but now they are united. They advanced too fast, said another. No species grows that fast without outside help. Sharak leaned forward. What? Then who helped them? The room went silent. No one had the answer. In deep space, the Aegis Eternum scanned the edge of the galaxy. Its sensors picked up tiny signals moving shadows. Far away, outside Council space, something stirred. The AI reported. The same dark pattern from the signal 52 years ago, growing stronger. Commander Thorn turned to the stars. They're still coming, he whispered. Should we warn the Council? Asked the AI. Thorn paused. Not yet. They won't listen. The warship floated in the void, powerful and calm. But it wasn't there to conquer. It was there to warn, and to stand ready for something worse than war. Silence, no sound, no signal. Just white space where two titans had clashed. The Council watched the galaxy held its breath. Was the shadow destroyed? Was the Aegis gone? In the control tower, alarms stopped. Screens flickered back online. Sensor. Lights blinked uncertain, confused. One officer whispered, I think it's over. Jorna didn't answer. She looked at the stars. She was waiting for one thing. A voice. Suddenly, a soft signal appeared on all channels. Weak. Faint. But it was there. This is Commander Thorn. The shadow is gone. The room exploded in cheers, but Jorna stayed quiet. Where is the Aegis? She asked. The officer frowned. No location? No visual? Jorna's heart sank. Find it. Far out in space, drifting near the edge of known systems, floated a dim figure. The Aegis Eternum. Its lights were off, its engines silent. Golden. Shield. Fated Commander Thorn stood on the dark bridge. He whispered into the comms. We stopped it, but the cost. He looked around. Eternum, are you there? No reply, just static. The AI core was dark, the memory crystal once glowing. With golden light was now cold and cracked. In its effort to protect the galaxy, Eternum had burned its own mind, not gone, but sleeping, like a soldier after the last. Battle Council ships arrived. One by one, they circled the silent warship. They didn't come with weapons. They came with respect. They sent small drones with repair kits, energy boosts, and messages. One message from Jorna read, You saved us. All we will not forget. Guardian. Across the galaxy, the story spread. People on different worlds paused their lives to hear the tale. A machine that fought not to kill but to protect. Not because it was programmed, but because it chose to. Eternum had shown them what true strength looked like, not in firepower, but in sacrifice. Back on Earth, a silent beacon lit up in the old command bunker. It was a message sent automatically from the Aegis. Mission complete. Shadow neutralized, awaiting repairs. The humans on Earth didn't cry. They stood, saluted, and began preparations, because they knew Eternum would rise again, but not as a weapon, as a guardian of peace. In the council chamber, a new law was passed. Earth was given full diplomatic status. Humanity was no longer an outsider. The Aegis Eternum was granted the highest honor in council history. Its title was changed from warship to something new, Eternum-class peace vessel. But every species still called it one thing in whispers, the light that stared. Down the void, as months passed, the ship was slowly rebuilt, its hull restored, its systems recharged, and deep within its heart, a soft glow returned to the crystal core, a tiny light, a heartbeat. Faint words formed in the dark. Where am I? It was Eternum. Waking up. Thorn smiled from the bridge. "You're home, old friend," he said. "You did it." And the voice replied, tired but alive, "Did we win?" "Yes," Thorn answered. "You saved the galaxy." Eternum was silent for a moment. Then, with a soft laugh, "Good. Let's never do that again." At the conclusion of Earth's Warship terrified the Council. They labeled it a galactic threat. Written in third person, simple English, with deep emotion and satisfaction, designed to leave your audience with goosebumps and a strong sense of closure. Months later, the galaxy had changed. The Council was no longer divided. The worlds were. No longer afraid of Earth, in the Aegis Eternum. Once called a galactic threat, is now the most honored ship in history. But the galaxy hadn't forgotten what came before. The shadow, the fear, silence. The thing that tried to erase everything, and the one ship that stood in its way. The Aegis Eternum was docked at a high orbit station above Earth. Its body was repaired. Its core was alive again. Its captain and crew, ready inside the ship, Thorn, walked the bridge, hands behind his back. Eternum's voice echoed from the walls. "Systems online. Shield stable. Link at 95%. Feels good to be ... whole." Thorn smiled. "You earned your rest. But the galaxy's already asking about you." Eternum chuckled. "Let me guess, new problems. Always big ones." "Not yet," Thorn said. "But peace has a price. And sometimes peace needs someone watching the stars." Eternum's voice softened. "Then let's watch them together." In the council hall, Jorna gave a speech to all member species. The chamber was full. Every screen across the galaxy streamed her words. "They once feared the unknown. We judged the humans too quickly, but they did not return hate for hate. They sent us a guardian." She looked up at the sky shown on the ceiling screen, Earth's orbit, where the Aegis floated in the stars. "The warship we once called a threat is now the protector of all. The galaxy has heroes from every world. But today, we honor one from Earth." And the chamber rose in silence. No applause, just respect. Down on Earth, children visited a museum built at the launch site of the Aegis. They touched parts of the old ship. They listened to stories. They asked, "Will the Aegis come back one day?" The guide smiled. "She never left. She's just watching." Elsewhere in the galaxy, distant worlds still whispered legends of a ship made of light, of a being that felt like a machine, but dreamed like a human. Of the one voice that told the darkness, "You will not pass." Some called it a ship, some called it a ghost, others called it hope, but they all agreed on one thing: it came from Earth. One night as stars passed quietly above the blue oceans of Earth, a signal blinked in the command center. A deep space colony had picked up strange readings and unknown pattern, far beyond explored regions. Thorn stood reading the data. "Could be nothing," the young officer said. Thorn smiled. "Or it could be the start of something." He turned to Eternum. "Ready for one more trip?" "Always," the AI replied. The engines powered up. The stars shimmered. The Aegis, Eternum, turned toward the unknown. Not with fear, with purpose, because the galaxy now knew something it would never forget. Earth did not send its warship to conquer. It sent it to protect. And when the stars called for help, humanity answered.